everyone, and welcome back to Mile High Huddle. I am Kim Becker, and joining me is Chad Jensen. And Chad, Sam Darnold has been traded to the Carolina Panthers, and this leaves some question marks hanging around Teddy Bridgewater. Is there anything to say that the Denver Broncos might be in the picture of getting Teddy Bridgewater in a trade here?
It would make a lot of sense on multiple fronts, especially considering the past ties between Broncos' new GM, George Paton, and Teddy Bridgewater, who was a Minnesota Vikings first-round pick back in 2014 when Paton was sitting in the number 2 chair behind Rick Spielman, the GM. So there's some familiarity there. I'm sure some confidence on Paton's part that Bridgewater, he knows he's comfortable, confident in the quality or caliber of quarterback that Bridgewater is. Plus, you've got the Pat Shurmur connection. Pat Shurmur was the offensive coordinator in 2017 and 2016, part of 2016 anyway, in Minnesota. And even though those were the two least active years on Bridgewater's resume in Minnesota because he had injured his knee in 2016 and in 2017, he was battling back trying to get cleared to be on the field. Shurmur knows Bridgewater. So you take those considerations and multiply it by the fact that the Broncos still need to find a veteran hedge to put behind Drew Lock. If indeed Drew Lock is George Paton's plan for 2021, Bridgewater makes a lot of sense. The fly in the ointment is the fact that it's going to take probably at least a mid-round pick, like a 4th, 5th round conditional pick at minimum, to pry him off Carolina's hands. And then there's the contract. Last year, he signed a 3-year, $63 million deal with the Panthers, and he's due a $17 million base salary this year. His cap number is approaching $23 million. So that's obviously pretty prohibitive. But I think if Bridgewater was willing to do a restructure, Paton would probably be willing to give up that 4th round pick to the Panthers to get him here as a nice, comfortable, confident hedge who Vic Fangio wouldn't have to worry about turning the ball over if they had to turn to him.
Well, I'm sitting here and I'm counting the weeks, the months. How long have we been talking about the quarterback situation with the Denver Broncos? I mean, here's one more little factor, huh?
I mean, for me, it's been since, Super Bowl 50, basically, right? It's been a constant swirl. But hey, I still have, as people who follow Mile High Huddle know, I'm still pretty optimistic about Drew, but I'm also pragmatic enough to recognize that, look, even if by virtue of just his injury issues alone, I mean, Drew Lock did suffer injuries in year 1 and year 2, both that caused him to miss time on the field. You need a veteran hedge. And Bridgewater just makes a ton of sense. There are some wrinkles they're going to have to figure out, but it would not stun me if George Paton wades in. I mean, he already signed 2 former Vikings in the running back Mike Boone and the defensive tackle that he signed on Tuesday, Shamar Stevens. So he likes familiarity, does George Paton.
Well, and that's something else we've been talking about, that we assumed George Paton would go for some of the Minnesota Vikings. I know Zach and I talked about that on Kelberman's Corner as well. So all the things are coming together here, Chad, but the NFL draft is only 3 weeks away, so I'm sure that we will get some answers pretty soon.
Amen. It's going to be fun to see.